Today is Thursday, and this is when we're gonna run our third workout, and this is going to be an upper body workout. So if you've been following, I put out upper body one workout, which is an overhead press day, and then that was on Monday. Tuesday was our leg day, which we did squats. Wednesday is an active recovery day, so whatever you want to do to help you recover. I did sprints and I did some stretching. You could do sauna work, whatever, anything that's going to allow you to recover faster. Today is Thursday, and we're going to do another upper body workout, push-pull, and it's going to be a fun one. First two exercises are going to be a bench press, 4x12 with a 4-second eccentric. It's terrible, but I definitely want you to try it out. After that, we're going to do, I believe I have a pull-up, we're going to do a pronated grip pull-up, medium grip. So we'll be doing that on the both upper body days, on Monday and today on Thursday. We have chin-ups here and we have pull-ups here. So we're hitting two different types of variations of a pull-up, just different hand positions, which play a big role in the back, in developing the back. So that's what we're doing today, Thursday. We're going to go through that. You're going to get a voiceover through the workout, so you know exactly what you're doing. If you're new to this, I definitely recommend you go watch upper body one so you could see that. And this is what you could run for 4 days a week. We got upper body on Monday, we got lower body on Tuesday, upper body 2 on Thursday, and usually I run another leg day on Friday, but for me, I want to put some more size on my arms, so I'm just doing a straight up arm day on Friday, which is a fun workout too. So I'm excited to film that and get that out for you. But make sure that you do follow along, and most importantly, stick to that tempo. That first number in the parentheses, read it from left to right. The first number, reading it left to right, is the negative, the eccentric part, which is very important. We want to make sure that we do that as best as we can. And then we follow the rest time between sets. That's also going to dictate how long your workout is. Also, it's going to show you how true of a load between sets are you doing. Because if you're not resting correctly and you try to hit that set again, you're going to hit a huge drop off, and we don't want that. So I want you to make sure that you stick around and just see how we kind of do things. I'm going to talk you through it on the voiceover. Other than that, I hope you enjoy the workout. Before the workout, we're going to get a quick little stretch in, just like we did, similar to upper body. Appreciate you, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. So before we start the workout, I like to show you my physique and how it looks before a pump, because we know when you get the pump, the physique changes, and it always feels good. I always wish I could just keep the pump, walking around with the pump. That'd be awesome. But unfortunately, that's not the case. But I want you to see where I'm at right now. I think it'd be cool to see what it looks like. I haven't touched the weight yet. I gotta adjust this. So this is lighting. Lighting's decent, but this is without a pump. Nothing. Haven't hit chest. Didn't even work out yet. And lighting and angles are key. Like this. It's all about that. So before we get going, where's my mic? Okay. Thought I had my mic on me. So before we get going, I want to show you my supplements. That's it. I got 2 big supplement companies that I use, or actually 3. This one's by Spoken. They're fantastic. I always look for, when I look for supplements, that if they have NSF approved on there, that's like third party tested. And these guys are great. Everything's clean, which is what I love. All 11 essential aminos are in here, but there's also a big one that I like in here too. It has L-tyrosine and it has ATP in here. L-tyrosine, great for increasing the neurotransmitter dopamine, because a lot of times when we train, we feel unmotivated at the end, especially after a hard workout. We don't want to do much, we just want to chill. So that helps. I see the big change, big difference in that. And then we got ATP, which I'm sure we all know what ATP is. Increases mitochondrial cells, so more cellular production, which is good, which is what we want. So this is fantastic. I feel like recovery and everything else has gotten better with that. Now on top of that, I take this, I sip on this during my workout, and then electrolytes. It's a blue raspberry, again, all clean. When I look at electrolytes, I always look at the sodium, potassium, magnesium, chloride, see how high they are, and if they have a vitamin C in there. Vitamin C will help with cortisol and all that. So when we train, we're actually putting a stress on the immune system. So in a positive way, but the immune system weakens. So that's why I don't like to train when I'm sick. If you're fighting a cold or a fever, we always see ourselves getting worse because your immune system's compromised. So, and we put stress on the immune system in a good way, but again, the immune system's trying to do something else, get rid of that virus, get you healthy again. But I like that because it has vitamin C in here. It helps with that. And the electrolytes helps fire muscle, helps hydrate a cell, and it helps balance out that water in the cell and outside the cell. And you can't hydrate alone without electrolyte. So if you think sodium, I think like pink salt, Himalayan salt, Redmond salt, Celtic sea salt. You know, those are the good salts that you want to sprinkle on your food or have before your workout that actually will help with a pump. That's what we want. So those are my two, and then I take creatine 5 grams every morning with collagen, a scoop of collagen, and a scoop of electrolytes. Again, key thing to remember here, when you take an electrolytes with collagen, the electrolytes should have vitamin C in there. It will help speed up the absorption rate with collagen. For some reason, collagen and vitamin C, antioxidant, it speeds up the absorption rate of collagen, so that actually you get the full benefit out of collagen. So just remember that. Other than that, yeah, just want to talk to you about some subs that I'm a big believer in, that I try to have all my people get on, is the non-negotiables. A good electrolyte, always, amino acids, essential aminos, and creatine if we could. But these are game changer. So it's all about quality. I'm a big advocate for quality. If you're not taking quality supplements, you're not going to get the benefit out of it. Just like I talk about digestive enzymes. Your vitamins aren't going to work as efficient if you're having absorption issues in your gut. Everything starts in your gut. So if you're having issues in your gut, you're going to have issues out there. You're going to have issues out in life, recovery, sleeping, all that matters. Everything starts here. So we've got to make sure that the gut is right. Welcome to the vlog, my dude. And this is actually going to be your third workout of the week. So this would be a workout on Thursday. So if you're following the game plan so far, Monday is an overhead press day, Tuesday is squat day, and then Wednesday is going to be an active recovery day. So after that, Thursday we're going to hit a bench press day, so push-pull, and then after that, Friday is going to be an arm day. So the lineup's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. I'll be honest though, that leg day was terrible. It's especially the squats. The squats being 4x12 with that 4-second eccentric was just terrible. So if you haven't done that already, or if you haven't watched it already, go watch it. But other than that, we're about to get in a good old push-pull workout. And I want to talk about the warm-up. So I spent some time really doing my warm-up. I foam roll my lats. And then after I foam roll my lats, I roll out my chest like you're seeing right here. I'm using a lacrosse ball. This actually feels really good. So I definitely recommend that you do this. And the reason I like doing this, because this increases blood flow. And then you stretch. It's what I learned in massage class. And it's just a big game changer. So when we come in, the muscles are going to be a little cold. So like any type of soft tissue work, we're going to increase blood flow to that area. So once blood flow is to that area, it's a little bit warmer. It's going to be easier to stretch now and increase those ranges. So this stretch we're doing right here is a great pec minor stretch. So when the pec minor is tight, it pulls the shoulder forward. So any type of movements, like think of like an overhead press, it becomes really hard because of that muscle being restricted. I mean, it's pulling the shoulder forward, and you want to do the opposite of that and try to push above your head. So the pec minor is gonna interfere with that movement. So we want to make sure we do this the stretch when we lay down, and it's, look at how my arm angle is like 45-degree away from my torso. I'm pushing my palm out for like 8 to 5 seconds, and then take a deep breath through my belly and relax. See if I could get that arm closer to the ground. And the goal is to get both sides balanced. So if you know like right arm is tighter than your left, then you got to prioritize your right arm first. So, and then eventually they'll start balancing itself out. But focus on that. And then the whole point too is when we get stronger, like getting stronger tendons and ligaments, like these ranges are going to open up even more. So like when we do like a bench press for our first lift, we focus on like a 4-second tempo. So, and we're doing 12 reps too. So think about this. This is pretty cool. So 4 seconds each rep for one rep. Now there's 12 reps. So 4 times 12, that's 48 seconds worth of work, almost a minute, which is really cool. So a lot of time and attention on the tendons, the ligaments, the joint, and the muscle. Now, if you think about your standard rep and tempo, you're not really doing any tempo. It's probably 1 second, 2 seconds. So you're not really getting any eccentric. You're not training the eccentric part of the movement. And you remember, there's 3 different types of muscle contraction. You got concentric, eccentric, and isometric. So we want to make sure that you're tapping into all of those. And then when it comes to my training, I utilize eccentric all the time. And then there's a time where we do extended eccentric. So that's where we do slow ass eccentrics, like 10 seconds, 8 seconds, and even 6 seconds for an eccentric. And there's purposes for that, but the standard is 4 second, 3 second, 5 second. And there's purposes for that. But if you really want to build up strength fast, I strongly recommend that you start doing tempo work. And I'm telling you, you put some size on too. Like I've gotten stronger, and I've put size on naturally for my build. Like I'm not a huge guy. I'm, based on my genetics, I'm doing pretty damn well, and the training's going to keep going up because my goal is to keep doing this for a long period of time. So like training eccentrically, doing all that stuff, strengthening tendons, ligaments, that's going to allow me to do this for a long period of time. Because there's going to be a point where if you're not doing that stuff and you're constantly hammering the concentric part and utilizing a lot of load, that's going to, potentially hurt the tendon ligament, or the tendon and ligament aren't caught up as much as the muscle. The muscle gets stronger faster and puts more size on faster than tendon ligaments. So tendons, ligaments, they really get stronger when you do a lot of eccentric work. So like that's my goal too, as my training, as I progress forward with my training, but also when it comes to coaching too. Like I want to make sure that my clients are getting strong eccentrically, and then as they go throughout their life, they're feeling good too, like creating good movement patterns in the gym, and that's going to carry over towards their everyday life too. And the cool thing is they're going to do movements and feel good in the gym, like certain movements that maybe they were uncomfortable with. Now they're starting to feel really damn good because we've increased these ranges, we got things stronger, we got things balanced, and things are starting to work out how they should be. So if you haven't watched day 1 of the upper body overhead press workout, or the leg one, I talk about the warm-ups. So the warm-ups for our very first lift. So our first lift is going to be a bench press. So I like to start off with a 5 reps for my first warm-up, and it allows me to see how my body's feeling during the movement. It allows me to see how the weight's moving. Am I going to feel decent for my first set? And as I'm warming up, I'm obviously building up to my first working set. So as I decrease my reps, I am increasing load. I know, like, if you do this, it's okay, but when you do warm up for a squat, bench, whatever, your first lift, are you warming up for 10 reps, maybe more, with a weight that's light for you, super light, but you're also burning energy on a load that's unnecessary for you, that it's not going to create any change. So that's why I keep my rep ranges for my warm-ups for my first 2 lifts, at least 5 or 6 reps, and then everything underneath that. So here's my first set. I'm focused on a slow 4-second negative, and I'm going to try to hit 12 reps. I do, but The 12 reps with a 4-second negative is terrible. Like the pump, everything feels great, but it wrecks you if you're not used to it. And I'll be honest, like when you are new to tempo work for the first time, it's gonna take a lot out of you. And I definitely recommend that you follow this to a T, meaning trying the tempo, you're following the rest protocol. So after my bench press here, I'm gonna rest 90 seconds. And then after that rest is up, I'm going to go into my second lift, which you're going to see here in a minute. It's going to be a pull-up. And then I'll hit that for the amount of reps I want to hit it for, which is 10. I'm definitely not going to hit it for 12, if I'm going to be honest. 10 is still really damn good. I got to put the tempo in there. I got to finish it. It should be 3-0-1-0. So I'll fix that. No problem. But yeah, first set here, doing a pronated pull-up. And honestly, I feel really good. Now, when you do pull-ups, focus on going all the way down. Because there's 3 different ranges in a pull-up, just like a press. There's always 3 ranges. You got top, middle, bottom range. A lot of times we don't focus on that bottom quarter because we're not locking out at the bottom. So you're missing so much more strength gains when you're not fully locking out at the bottom. And it's a lot harder. And this is allowing me to stretch everything too, like stretch the lats, get a full contraction, and allow things to move how they should move. Now here's another angle of the bench press. I want you to really pay attention here because a lot of clients of mine struggle with this, but they're starting to get better at it as we continue to address it. But look at my hand position. Do you notice anything different here? How I'm holding it? Before you say anything in the comments, I'm going to tell you right now. My hands are stacked above my wrist and my elbow. Now, before you saying, duh, I know that. But no, I mean stacked. I mean there's no flexion in my wrist. Extending at my wrist where I have a weak grip. Would you punch somebody with a weak fist? Meaning like you're pretty much hitting them with your palm instead of like your knuckles. It's the same thing with your press. If you fix that little movement, you're going to be that much stronger in your presses. That's not just for bench press. That's for overhead press, incline press, decline press, any type of presses that are with a barbell. A lot of people do a weak grip where they hold the bar in their fingers instead of their thick part of their palm closer to their thumb. That thick part of your hand. That's where you should hold the barbell. This was feeling really good. My back has developed so much just by doing chin-ups, pull-ups, and then really hammering my bigger lifts, such as like the compound lifts, deadlifts, front squat, back squat, you name it. That's been changing my physique a lot when it comes to my posterior chain of my back. Anyway, this lift, if you're not new to this, if you have never done this lift, this is a cool lift. It's going to show you some weaknesses. This is called the Z press. So the Z press is challenging the posterior chain, the back, the hamstrings, and the core. If you have weak core and weak hamstrings, you're going to fall backwards. You're not going to be able to keep yourself upright. And as the load gets heavier too, you're going to get challenged that much more. So I'm doing that Z press followed by this landmine row. And I'm doing like a semi-pronated grip here. And I'm working more mid, upper back, little lats. I mean, lats are getting involved too. But man, the development in that movement that's made an impact on my back, it's incredible. But here we go. Here's the Z press. So I'm doing a neutral grip. I'm trying to get stacked. You can see I'm like as I get up a little bit more, I lean back just a little bit. So it's so hard. Like I'm trying to stay upright as much as possible. So if you really want a good challenge here, I like to throw this movement in for a client that we're working on bracing, because if you can't arch your lower back, if you arch your back going in extension, you're going to fall backwards. You're not going to be strong. You're going to be weak. So I like to throw a client in there if I'm trying to get them better at bracing, utilizing their core correctly, understanding on how to use their core, because a lot of us don't know how to use it correctly, especially when it comes to doing our bigger movements, our deadlifts, squats, front squats. You shouldn't need a belt for those movements, especially if you're not a power lifter, you're not getting ready for an event. You don't need a belt. A belt is considered cheating. It is. They're cheaters. And you don't need that. You need to utilize and understand how to use your core correctly. So, like, that's why we do that Z press. That's why the Z press is super important. We're almost done with the workout. We're getting into the last two exercises, which in my opinion just suck. See, this one's not bad, bent over lateral raise. I'm just trying to focus on rear delt and rhomboids. I'm just really trying to feel the muscle contract. Nice slow eccentric going down. Trying to hammer 12 reps and trying to keep the arm not as bent, like a little bent in the elbow, but not as much as you could see. So I'm focused on coming across my body as I come down a little bit, just to allow the scapula to abduct away from the spine, so it'll allow the muscle to stretch more. So now this lift, look at standing dumbbell front raise to lateral raise to upright row to external rotation. I'm telling you, if you pair this with any type of raise, whatever you feel like you're neglecting, you need, that's a weak point, and you do this with it, superset, I'm telling you, you're not gonna like yourself for this. When I put this in my program, I was like questioning myself, why the hell would I do that to myself? But this sucks. I finished my third week with doing 17 or 20 pounds, and it is so rough. Like the pump you get from this, because you're hitting all the heads of the deltoid, and getting a little bit of the rotator cuff involved too. And it's just an overall great finisher. And the shoulders are another exercise or another muscle that I'm trying to build up. They always been. And my arms, my biceps need more work. And they came a long way, I'll tell you. I'll be honest with you. From being skinny to where I'm at now, I'm very, very happy with where I'm at. But again, the reason why I love doing this and love training, because there's so much more work to be done. Like, I'm happy, but also I know there's a lot more work to be done, and that's fun to me. And it's a journey. Get used to that. Get used to, try new things. And it's okay to get discouraged, because, like, the way I'm training right now is completely new. And I'm fine with that, because I'm getting better. My clients are getting better. But look this is where I'm at right now. I'm actually going to compete next year. I'm going to do another men's physique show, just because I need something to train for. I need a goal. But yeah, I came a long way. I appreciate you listening to the video, and I hope you subscribe and tune in to many more.